Okay. Hi, Suzanne.
Hey. Hi.
So we have the most amazing witchy group. My God, of fabulous, powerful women. Of course, right? I can't even tell you how long I've been working my magic and meditating and working on manifesting. It's like, I want the women in my class to be just the fucking bomb, to be amazing, powerful. It does, again, there's all, like I said, all different levels of entrepreneurs here, but it's still like the level of quality of women is so high, and that's exactly what I asked for. Universe. So we have 23 members.
Wow.
That's the most when I started Higher Ground, like kind of more as a beta in 2017, like December of 2017, there were like 8 people. And so, yeah, I'm forever grateful to those 8 people. And all of them are actually in it again this year, except for one. So it's pretty amazing that we have, just a really good core group. And then we have a lot of new people too. And then we had some, because last year I did a lot of trials to get people to just get in and try it and then see what was working and what wasn't. And I think, because I had enrollment all year long, and which we're not doing this year. We're just keeping the group together for 6 months. And then come June, we're going to break for the summer because, again, it was like, why are we all trying to push ourselves to work so hard during the summer? It's like, that makes no sense. It's like the playtime expansion energy. It doesn't mean we don't do work, but it makes more sense to not have a group going. And then I'm thinking in the fall, if we all want to come back together, we can do like maybe just appear more of a mastermind, and but because I'm going to keep the Facebook group open, and we'll see what the needs are in the group as we get into summer and fall, and we'll see. I'm here for you. So before we jump into masterminding, and today is a lot more about getting to know each other, since there's so many new folks. I want to make sure you all know what each other does, because that's part of this group. Is not just a course, it is a mastermind, and we do a lot of, we support each other. I'm hiring out, Suzanne, she makes my custom tea for me, amazing tea alchemist, herbalist. Like Ellie, you're an amazing reader, healer. I'm going to reach out to people here to help me with what I need. Tara's astrologer. Shirley Ann Aphrodite is an artist. There's one of her paintings right behind me. Beautiful artist, creates beauty everywhere she goes, is really working with women and men to bring about this idea of seductress. So there's so many. And then we have Tawny. I don't know if she's going to be here today. Tawny is going to be our social media person. So we've got a social media person in the group now, which is great, because people are always asking me social media questions. I'm like, I don't know. So I think I am also working with her on my business. So which she does things like, maintains people's social media, but she also will teach you. So she'll like meet with you. You could have like a package of sessions, and then she will talk about, with you what your business is, and then help you come up with your own Facebook and Instagram strategy. Because I have no idea like really how to do Facebook ads correctly. I had minor success with it last year, but it was starting to feel like it was a waste of money because I don't really know what I'm doing. So I feel like finally, yay, a social media person amongst us will be here with us for the 6 months. And her name is Tawny. So she's leaving for Japan on Friday. So I have a feeling she's probably busy. Hi, Carrie.
Hi.
And Carrie is our play expert, the Mary Poppins fairy godmother. So she's the person you go to when, how can I do this more playfully? How can I make what I'm doing fun? And I've done some work with Carrie as Carrie and I met, 2012? She went to Pacifica also. And so you're each going to tell each other about each other, but I'm just saying the diversity of talent, is incredibly rich here this year. So I'm so happy. Business objectives for January and February. So just wanted to give you a little, again, a reminder of what it is that when we're working in this section, it's all about the Empress archetype. And the archetypal themes are sovereignty, abundance, grounding, nurturing yourself, and manifestation, and planting those seeds. This is the time to do it. It's a really powerful time. We've had so much going on in Capricorn, which is all about kind of the business stuff and status and career. We have Pluto there. We have Saturn there now. So the ruling sign of Capricorn is in, Capricorn. So depending on where it is in your house, and there's different ways of looking at it in astrology and whatnot. But we have, like I said, so many experts here, and I'm going to ask, at some point in the next 7 to 8 weeks, is go ahead and interject what you know about Saturn and Capricorn, what you know about the Empress. I'm not going to have us do what I did in your PDF this week, which is have a bunch of extra resources. I felt like that might have diluted some of the lesson, and I don't want to dilute lessons. I really want us to stay on point and stay really immersed with this Empress archetypal theme, and with the business objectives, which I'll go over in a minute. So that could look like, something that you wrote for your own blog, something that you're really passionate about that has to do with, making money, building your career, how you help others do that with, astrology or tarot or healing. All of that stuff, please post. What I don't want us to do is like, oh, let's look at this link by Carolyn Miss. Let's look at this link by like all these different outside teachers, because I did that and then went, oh yeah, this is not the result I wanted, even though it's fun. So we're going to do something like that probably once a month towards the end of the month, and just have a big old party of sharing resources from anywhere and everywhere you want that you find have been helpful to you recently. Because it's very engaging to do that and fun, but it's not necessarily on point. So I want us, for the most part, when we're posting, to just really stay on point with exactly what the themes are in the lessons each week, and then, of course, the overarching theme of the Empress. Business objectives for January and February. So what we're focusing on in the lessons over the next 7 weeks, choose the focus of what you're really building and expanding this year, and create intentions based on that for your business, for 2019 into 2020. The other one is structure our businesses in alignment with our ultimate desires, our personalities, and energy. So we had most of that this week around, what are your rules of enchantment? What are your business hours? How do you want to do business? What feels good to you? What are the clients that feel good? What are the clients that don't feel good? So that's a big part of what we're doing this week, is starting to sift through that. And then next week, you have the I am statement. So the I am statements, we really get into our desires, who we desire to to give ourselves permission to be, so we can go after those intentions and goals. And then deciding what to delegate and to get off your plate so you could do your best work without getting overwhelmed. And that's kind of going through and into what we've done this week, and it'll continue on in bits and pieces, about how we operate in our businesses. How are we trying to do and be everything to everyone at once, which just creates overwhelm and nothing gets done, at least not in the kind of excellence that we want it to, right? And then the big part of this 8 weeks is your core brand archetype. And that's week 3. So next week is you're going to do something around your client. You're like, you design the client that you really want. You're kind of going into those stories and into magnetizing that. And then the third week is all about looking at your stories, like your favorite stories, looking at your favorite characters, seeing how you react and how you experience them now. And so you're basically, instead of taking someone else's quiz about what archetypes they have configured, which is fine, you're going to basically do that for yourself, which I like that because it just resonates much more deeply. It's more organic. And yeah, but the week 3 that's like a 3 or 4 hour lesson, the steps that you take to do that. I did some of the core brand archetype at the Spellbound retreat in 2017. So Ellie did it. I think Helen, Demi did it. And, Carrie has done it a little bit, and she did it back in 2012 a little bit when I was first developing it. And yeah, it takes time. So even if you've done it before, again, we want to look at this with fresh eyes from who we know we want to become in this moment and moving forward through the year. I feel like this is such a foundational time for all of us, that how we frame our work in the world, how we frame our purpose, how we create the foundation for our business that supports us rather than us trying to, be the people pleaser and do everything and be everything. This is going to take us, I think, much further than 2020. I feel like this is a bit of the ramp up year. Last year was more about cleaning the shit out. This is more about, okay, maybe there's a little bit of sifting left to do and a little more cleanup, but for the most part, it's really about, okay, what am I building? And really starting to kind of put the blueprint in place that will last for the next 10 years, maybe beyond. So it's a beautiful thing when we can build our legacy. And brands always evolve. Nobody gets it perfect right away. And that's part of the fun of it. It's you're co-creating with the universe, and you're continually building on that foundation, building on what you conceived. And it's like having a child and then nurturing it to, the adolescent. And then, eventually that child carries on. After you pass on, the child carries on your message, your legacy. So I think a lot of us here are really more focused on the long-term, long-range sort of vision. But you have to start from wherever you're starting from, and know that that's awesome. It's perfect. You're perfect as you are. It's not about changing or being better or improving. It's just about allowing new layers to unravel so you can express more of who you are through your business. What else do I want to talk about? Okay, quick update on the journal book. So I have them. They, so I printed them, but then stupid Amazon, if you ask for proofs, they put these things on them. So I sent this to my designer, who helped me do like these colored pages and a lot of the pretty designs. Mm-hmm. And she can't figure out why they won't print the real printing of it. She says everything looks fine to her too. So I think what I might do is, as much as I love this page, but if there's something that they don't like about it, like something's bleeding off the wrong way, I don't know what it is.
No, they just do that because it's a proof. If you would have just ordered them, they would.
No, they won't let me order them. They said, they keep sending me emails, you're not allowed to order it because it's not high quality enough. Your graphics are, so,
Tell them you don't give a shit and see what happens. Call them up.
No, I've written them a couple times and they won't do it. So I think what I'm going to do is take some of the color pages out and submit it and see what happens. Because the problem is they're not telling me which one. There's like 30 different color pages. It's like, how am I supposed to know which one is one that's not to your standards? So I might just take them all out and then just try to add a few back at a time, and then maybe it'll trigger which, so then I'll know which one. But anyways, that's the scoop on this. And if you don't care and you want one, this is not for resale.
I think it's great to have them like that. Personally, it's like we get the first one.
Yeah, this is so special. You can't resell it. I'm like, because I order like 6 of them. I'm like, oh, well, fuck them. Then I'll just order the proofs. I'm like, you fucking bastards. Anyways, enough of that. So just wanted to give you a lay of the land for this first thing. And the schedule is Wednesdays. Every other Wednesday we have masterminds, and we'll start not the next week, but the following Wednesday with the more usual format where you guys talk about what you're working on, what you're celebrating, and then what you need, feedback on. This is a little bit more about introductions and getting to know each other. And then every Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, we do our weekly reading. So if you want a reading, you drop in for that. It's a Facebook Live event. If you can't, or if you're not, because Carrie is not a Facebook person, she doesn't want to participate, that's fine. I've got 3 other people that just are like, I'm not a Facebook person. So you can email me your desire to have a card pulled, and then I'll do it for you. But if people don't ask me for them, I won't pull them. And part of the reason is because I won't remember. It's like there's 23 people. I'm not going to be able to remember all those people. So if you are not going to be able to be there, email me or post in the Facebook group that you want a card pulled, and I'll do it for you in absentia. All right. So, okay, let's go into introductions. Let me pull up our little template here. Okay, so I think I could show my screen so you could actually see what the questions are, and that would make life easier. Okay. So your name and where you reside, what business you're in. So when we get to that point, like I would say, I am a copywriter, a ghostwriter, an author. I am a business coach, and I am the creator of Higher Ground, which is for women entrepreneurs who really want to bring in more clients and prosperity into their businesses. I teach business and branding and marketing, and how to do it in a pleasurable way and in a way that magnetizes your dream clients, that magnetizes more money, that helps you feel beautiful and sexy no matter what's going on in your life. So you'll always feel pleasure. So my thing is about pleasure in business. And then 3, who your dream client is. My dream client is a woman who is an entrepreneur or has a small boutique business that really wants my help creating like head-turning branding and marketing that people will just go crazy over, so that they sell out of their products and their courses and build the business that supports a life of beauty, possibly extravagance and luxury, if that's what they want, whatever. But I believe that women really deserve to be able to have that freedom to be who they want, to claim who they are. And that's what I want to help them do. And then what your intention is for being a part of Higher Ground this year. I'll let you, that's pretty easy. And then what you're celebrating for this week, and if you'd like feedback or support around something in your business. I think you could probably, each of you could probably do this in like 6 minutes. But yeah, we could extend it a little bit because I want to make sure everybody gets a chance to introduce themselves, okay? So I'm just, instead of letting people chime in and say, I'll go first, I'm just going to pick people because otherwise it'll take forever. So Suzanne, tell us about you.
Hi, this is awesome, and I've been looking forward to this. So I'm Suzanne O'Gara, and I am in the greater Phoenix, Arizona area, specifically Gilbert. And my business is Alchemy of Avalon, which is a tea and perfume company. And I am also a certified herbalist, so I kind of bring together the healing, medicinal, scientific side of herbalism with the magical and witchy side. And the inspiration comes from Avalon, the legends of Avalon and Morgan Le Fay and the Lady of the Lake and all that good stuff. So makes me super happy. Dream client is still something I'm working on. I bet most of the women in this group, if not all, would probably fall into the category. I would say, predominantly women. I don't know the age range, but, anyone really who's of the witchy or goddessy persuasion. Also people who are women who are like sort of literary or nerdy, or maybe like to consider themselves in the nasty woman category. You are my people. Belly dancers. That's my other thing that I do professionally. I don't really talk about it a ton in this group, but I've been belly dancing professionally for over a decade now. And so a lot of what I do is inspired by the needs of that community as well. So yeah. My intention for being part of Higher Ground, I think the main thing would have to be focus and helping with prioritizing. I definitely, like trying to narrow down, like right now we're supposed to be working on our top 3 priorities, and that's really challenging for me because I want to do all the things and I want to get them all done right now. So I would say the main thing that I really look to this group for is kind of helping me tap into like what's important on an intuitive level and what I want to kind of resonate and vibrate out in order to draw in the right type of business. And that in turn also helps me prioritize and figure out exactly what steps I want to take next. Otherwise I'll just get overwhelmed and it won't happen. So what are we celebrating this week? Well, I finally got all the teas. I have 4 different versions of tea for Professor Elemental. So if you guys don't know who he is, he's pretty fun and he really likes tea and he's English. So I'm gonna send him some fan tea. I have 4 different versions of a tea that I've designed for him and some samples to send him and a cute little tea infuser. So it's waiting to go to the post office as we speak. So I'm glad that I finally got that done because I wanted to do that before the holidays and it didn't happen. So he seems like a pretty cool guy though. So I don't think he's going to get mad at me.
So a little bit more about him, like just for a couple seconds.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I didn't want to go off on a tangent, but yeah, he Professor Elemental is one of the artists that would fall under this really weird subgenre of music called chap hop. So it's sort of like these really well-dressed older British dudes that rap about being British. So like he's really entrenched in the steampunk scene, and he's really nerdy and he's really fun, and he has a song called Everything Stops for Tea. And he has another song called Cup of Brown Joy where he sings about tea yet again. He actually gets a pretty good flow going on. He's kind of like 90s hip hop inspired in some ways, so I like that because that's my generation. And like he has another song called I'm British, which is really, really funny and talks about British stereotypes. And yeah, I guess sometimes he comes down to Arizona because there's like a Wild West and steampunk convention that happens here. And some of my dance friends have met him and they say he's really nice. So one night I was like looking at his website and I'm like, I'm just going to email him. And I'm just going to tell him that I want to make a tea named after him for my website called Professor Earlemental, which would be a Earl Grey based tea. And he wrote back to me like the next day and he was like, yes, let's do it. So I'm excited. So yeah. Number 6, feedback or support. Yeah, it's really just kind of like the priorities thing right now. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do next. I need some help with like some logistical things in terms of making my physical products look better. So that would be definitely something, if anyone has any, like, this is really mundane stuff. Like, I need a label maker that's affordable so I can do things on my own more. Or I know someone who really, I know for a while, like, Demi and I were talking about having her do a logo for me, but I think she's too busy now. But I really want to have a new logo. So things like that. I don't know if that's anything anyone can chime in on.
So for today, we're not going to do like a group chiming in. I'm going to start a chat thread on in the Facebook group, and I think what we can do is I'm going to post what each of you asked for feedback. Perfect. And then see if people can chime in. One little thing I will tell you about, Suzanne, is that I had a really beautiful logo made for the Sacred Pleasure Pause. I think you said you liked it. It was the purple mandala. I paid like $25 for that. It was kind of like a pre-made sort of thing, and then the lady, she just kind of did the customization for me, but I'll send you her information. She's on Etsy, really nice. I think she might be British too. So there goes your British connection. It just keeps going on and on.
Excellent, thank you.
Sure, thank you. Awesome. Okay, Aphrodite, will you be next, please?
Hey, hi everyone. So my name is Shirley Ann Aphrodite. I live in Southern California. My business, I've come to the awareness that I have two very distinct businesses. So I'll talk about both of them briefly. I've been a designer for most of my career. I'm also an artist. And this year, I'm so happy to say I'm going to be launching my school, which is going to be sort of a finishing school, but for women of a certain age. It's inspired by the great seductresses in history. It's going to be all about romance and elegance and glamour and beauty and femininity. And so it's years and years and years of dreaming and thinking and working with women, which has finally come together in the idea of having a finishing school. And even though it's going to start online, I have aspirations of having an actual school one day. I know the great finishing schools in Switzerland have all closed, and you know, it's a grand aspiration to think that I could be the one to revive that whole idea one day. So that's the main business that I'm focusing on this year. However, I'm still an artist. I paint every day. Painting is my way to connect with myself, the way I stay sane. And so that's my second business, which will always be there. So yes, my dream client, my dream client is a woman who is inherently feminine, but doesn't seem to find a space in this world to be who she really wants to be. I think the current climate is not very friendly to very feminine women. Women who may be doing a million other things in their lives, but they still want to be beautiful and elegant and glamorous. And so my dream client is a woman who has these desires to be more of herself. And I create the space for her to be this woman that she desires to be. My intention for being a part of Higher Ground. Oh boy, where do I begin? Higher Ground has brought me to this place of clarity. I joined this program last year, I think in September, and it's just calmed me down, grounded me, made me more focused, made me more intentional. My convictions are stronger. And so I'm just going to continue with that, continue building what I really want to build, be who I really want to be as a business owner, and yeah, continue with what I started with last year. What am I celebrating this week? I'm celebrating the fact that typically I would have jumped into the whirlwind, January 1st, what am I doing? Posting all over the place. And thanks to Chris's energy, I haven't done that. I've taken my time, I've been journaling, I've been writing. I'm getting very clear and inspired about what I want to create this year. So that's a big celebration. And yeah, that's it.
Can you tell us, Aphrodite, what kind of feedback or support around something in your business that you could use right now?
I would like to say, where do I begin? But I know what I have to do. I have to begin writing. I don't want to get to the frenzy of list building and lead magnets. I think I just have to write consistently, write passionately, and share it. So at some point, maybe I will want some strategy, but for now, I'm good. For now, I'm good. So thank you.
Thank you. Wow, you guys are all actually coming in under like 5 minutes or under. Incredible. Okay, Carrie.
Okay, so I'm Carrie. I'm down in Southern California in San Diego area. What business am I in? I'm in a lot of different businesses. That's one of the problems. But I would say I'm mostly a writer and a researcher. So that's what I do most of, and I'm doing a few projects right now. And my dream client is somebody who really wants to play and do things differently. Right now I already have people that I'm working with, so I'm not open for new clients at the moment, except for I'm looking for collaboration in certain areas. But I'm working with 2 different people on 2 different projects, and I'm sort of working on their material. And so I'm hoping that I have the space to work on mine, which is my Mary Poppins book, and the stuff that's going to emerge around that. So that's what my dream client is, my Mary Poppins project, I guess. So I'm not looking at the moment. I think it's premature for me to actually get clients until I actually figure out what I'm going to be making and how it's going to work, and then who would be attracted to it. Because the work is sort of dictating what I need to do with it, and it's me taking a backseat and listening to my intuition on what to do, instead of, as Aphrodite was saying, instead of running around and trying to figure out how to do it when you don't even know what you're doing yet. So that's a good idea. So today I'm celebrating the first week anniversary of this climate change initiative that I started accidentally. It's called Cool Wednesday, and hopefully at some point it will become a global thing. And we started it last week, and I have no idea what I'm doing, and I just accidentally got involved with it. And so even though I don't know how to use Instagram, I'm having people help me, and we're just making it really fun. And so it's about doing simple, easy, and fun things to keep the planet cool, and our campaign is about, at the first campaign is wearing a sweater, turning down your heat 2 degrees, and putting a picture of yourself with a sweater on Instagram. And so today I'm going in and filming another session in the tank, because a friend of mine has a cryotherapy place, and so we took this stuffed animal of a planet and we put it next to the cryotherapy chamber, and I'm like telling all about what Cool Wednesday is while I am actually doing 3 minutes of being very cold. So it was really fun. And so if you want to check out Cool Wednesday on Instagram, there's a couple of little things, and I'm making a third one today. So that's my celebration. And the feedback and support I'd like is immediately on the Cool Wednesday stuff. If anybody has any ideas, knows anybody who's a social media person, or knows anybody who's in the climate change business or corporate business that would like to take over this campaign, it would be great, because it's not what I'm here to do, but I feel every time I try to not do it, I start crying. So there's something going on with me and the planet that I need to, honor, and I'm trying to find an adoptive parent that would be the best parent. And so I'm hoping Disney will get on board. So I'm working toward that. So if anybody has any contacts in the entertainment industry, I think that would be the great place for Cool Wednesday to land. So basically bringing Earth Day 52 times a week instead of once a year. That's what the idea is, and making it fun, because it's really not the funnest thing to think about climate change. So we make it fun at Cool Wednesday. So that's it. So thank you. And I'm really looking forward to actually, and one of the things I could share is that I was a member of this thing the whole time last year. Of course, I never came to any of the things because I was so busy. So I think it's really important, and that's why I made a commitment to being here today.
Yay!
actually doing it. I'm making a public commitment to actually do the work, and really important to have a group of like-minded people holding your intention for you. And when you're holding other people's intentions, then you can actually, it boomerangs on you too. So it helps you with yours. It's really sort of cool. So I'm really excited about that aspect of it.
Me too. I am involved with Cool Wednesday with Carrie. It's such a fun project. We took pictures of ourselves at Disneyland in sweaters with this celestial buddy. It's like a stuffy that there's like a series of stuffies that look like planets. And so we had the Earth planet, and, with little rainbow, with reindeer horns in front of Disneyland. It was pretty fun. Carrie really helped me with a particular client that I was having issues with. And she's like, well, why don't you do it like in Mary Poppins, where the kids write a letter? Remember, it's like the practically perfect nanny. So we made this list of the practically perfect client. And it was really funny, because after I did that exercise with her, it was really magical. My client totally transformed into that letter for the most part. It was just, it totally changed my perspective too on her. And since then, Carrie, it's been so much better. Like she's like sending me other clients. This was the woman who was like wanted all my time. It's like, oh my God, you can't work for anybody. You can't do your own work. I need you. It's, and now she's like, oh, hey, I found this person that might dig your class and this and that. I'm like, whoa, okay. That's like a new. So Carrie has a very magic touch. And what's so fun about working with you, Carrie, I love that you just want to play, because I feel like even though we didn't quite get everything launched exactly the way we wanted to on both the projects that we were working on together, we got a lot done just playing around at Disneyland in our hotel room.
Yeah, and the Cool Wednesday thing actually helped with the Mary Poppins thing, because our Mary Poppins website, and Chris is helping me with that too. It's just like super fun. And I finally went, I thought, okay, I have to go big or go home on this. And I'm actually trying to bring astrology through Mary Poppins into the normal world, where people are, just 4 planets. I'm only a 4-planet girl, the outer planets, to show people how to change better. So I had to make the commitment to do that. And so Chris and I were really working on that, and it was really fun.
Yeah, I so appreciate you, Carrie. You do amazing work. So yeah, it'll be fun to see you like really build that foundation and we
Yeah.
can really take off with it. Um, so yeah, wow. Again, everybody's coming in under 5 or 6 minutes. It's amazing. I think we'll have Sophia go next, if that's okay, madam.
Hey, I'm
Hi.
Sophia. Hello, Chris and friends, new friends. So I'm here in Baltimore, Maryland, and or just outside of it. We've got snow on the ground. My name is Sophia Wren, is my pen name, and I consider that the name of my business as well. It's been a long journey over the last 7 years, or whenever I met Chris in 2012. But so I've done a number of different things, wear a lot of different hats. But my focus, for the most part, is really on writing at the moment. And I've been doing copywriting over the last year, working with people who like coaches who want to put themselves out there more. They want to sell some kind of course. I've done like landing pages, sales pages, opt-ins, emails, videos, scripts, something called product launch formula. We kind of use that. Been part of this marketing team, but I'm transitioning into just kind of being less on that team and more on my own. And I really enjoy writing myself. So a kind of similar thing with what that Carrie was saying about, having time for your own projects is a challenge. I also really like helping other people to write, not just writing for them or ghostwriting, but like actually helping them to write. And I'm developing a proposal for a group course to help people to write books. That's really my passion. I love books. And I edited a book this past year on a spiritual topic that is still a bestseller after 5 months on Amazon. So that's really awesome. Yeah, I just really love books. But I also work as a massage therapist, and I've done a lot of healing modalities, and I'm a healer too, because I feel like writing so much comes up. I love it when people are writing about like personal situations that they're then going to use to help somebody else. That's like my favoriteest thing. But I love magic and fantasy stuff too. So I do some fiction writing as well. But anyway, who is my dream client? So my dream client right now is somebody who's willing to invest in themselves. And if they want help writing, to be willing to pay me really well for it, because I've been taking jobs that have become a lot more work and they're taking up a lot of mental space. And I'm realizing that I have to value that highly. And so does my client. What's my intention for being part of Higher Ground? Well, as I'm making this transition in this year into really valuing my time, I just want to feel supported. I want to feel confident. I want to feel like I'm in touch with that. My goddess energy, making a lot of changes. I'm actually going to go to Japan in a few months to teach English for a year, and I'm going to be building my business alongside of it. And I want to be clear on how to balance my time between those things that I want to do for myself and the things I want to put in place in my business, because what's been going on hasn't really been clicking totally. So I am making changes. And I enjoy the cross-pollination with all you magical ladies. So that's going to be great. What am I celebrating this week? I did tell Chris last week that I was writing a proposal with, charging more. And I did put that out. So I was feeling a lot of fear last week, but I did put that out there. We've made some forward motion on a project I really want to close out. And I started to trust my timing on that more. It was really nice kind of feeling into the whole sovereign energy and putting the tracks on and doing all the like breath work, meditation, grounding stuff. So I'm glad I put that time into that, and then just sort of like following the energy, because I feel like the energy is the most important thing. So I'm glad I'm part of this group that's like validating that that's important. So thank you, Chris. I really appreciate that. And feedback or support, I think for me, it's just more like, if anyone wants to hold the vision for me, I'm just trying to be in this place of lightness and clarity and forward motion and flow, and just let go of any heaviness or confusion and just be present and patient with what the energy wants to do right now, just coming in the best energetic place. So that's me.
Thank you. Yay.
Yay.
So glad you're here. She was like my third plunge client. I think Carrie was my second or... No, Carrie, you were my first, weren't you? Yeah, I'm very grateful for my ladies that come back and play. It's fun to see the progression too, you know, like where people were in 2012, where I was in 2012, but yeah, how far you've all come, you know, Carrie and Sophia, it's huge. Is there a weird echo here? Sorry. Yeah, if you need to, you can also mute yourselves when you're not talking, if you know how to do that. If you can't, let me know and I'll help you. Okay, so let's move on to Ellie.
Hey. So yes, hi everyone. My name is Ellie and I reside in London, UK, although you could probably tell from my accent that I'm from the US. And speaking of my name, I am on the verge of actually going through a transition with that. So I'll keep you all posted with that. So the business that I have been in for more than 4 years is primarily a tarot business, primarily offering tarot card readings to people. But ever since that business started, it immediately started branching off into even more than that. I also offer sound healing with Tibetan singing bowls. And I also even started offering products. And among them was a heart chakra tea. That was actually right when I began, actually. I also started offering a herbal blend that's a heart chakra tea. So working with plants has been part of it for me so far on this journey. And who my dream client is. So I think the ideal client has been for me someone who is respectful, and someone I'd rather have someone who's open as well, because I have experienced, especially when I read at events or just in something that's a public situation like an event or a market, where people openly say that they're skeptical, but they just are getting a reading to be entertained. No, I really would rather, I've noticed that I've enjoyed clients that I've read for in like yoga events that tend to be more open and are not so much wanting a reading to tell them their future about, you know, when they're going to marry, for example, as much as, you know, going deep and exploring themselves and just navigating their lives and their journeys. So, but I think that my dream client, I don't know, because I feel that, as I mentioned, as soon as I started that business, which has been primarily tarot, it's been more than that. And I actually am feeling at this point that it's outdated. And so I'm thinking that I would like to transition out of that being primary and into something else, which leads me to number 4. So my intention for being a part of Higher Ground. So lately I've been feeling like really getting a lot more aligned. I've talked with Chris about this before, getting more aligned with what my Tao is, my Dharma, if you will, is. And I really feel, and I think a lot of other members of the group here resonate with this, and I think that's part of why I've joined, is my path is really the path of beauty. I'm really drawn to Venusian ways and the goddess, and I've really been especially excited about working with the earth the last few years and particularly plants. And then also more recently, around my my most recent birthday, I received messages from different multiple sources around me that I was called to the shamanic path, which totally was just unexpected. And I was also, along with that, given the message that I am a healer and that I can connect actually even more deeply and more deeply heart to heart with others through healing rather than through giving readings. And so that was unexpected, but it just happened so synchronistically that I can't ignore that. And actually for the first few months after receiving that, I was just in shock and not really acting on that yet, but now I'm finally starting my studies. Anyway, so I am answering that call, if you will. And actually, now that I reflect on it, gee, goddess, earth, shamanism, yeah, actually, that all does really make sense, doesn't it? So, so yeah, my intention is to revision my work. And it's been disappointing so far for me. I've not had as many clients and have not made as much money as I had hoped when I first started this business. And yeah, I've just been pretty discouraged, pretty disappointed. And I just feel like, okay, this is not working. And I think I ought to figure out, you know, what does work for me, not just in terms of results, but also internally, and also just to realign also with what I feel is my calling, my soul calling, my work in this world. And interestingly, my journey started with tarot, and that I know that needed to be my foundation, and I don't completely grasp why yet. Although I guess I do have suspicions about that. But anyway, I do feel that the feminine and the earth is what's central for me. And so what am I celebrating this week? I had some tarot clients this week, and they gave me great feedback, and it's always really nice to hear that you're not just talking nonsense. And I wrote an article, and someone also gave me feedback on that. It's just so nice to know that your work is appreciated, you know? So that was really nice to hear from someone who read that article. And what I would like to have feedback or support around right now, I'm at a place right now where I'm just feeling such a lack of clarity. And I attended a spiritual retreat a few months ago, and they did say it would be a purifying experience. And I guess they weren't kidding, because when I came back, I just felt like doing clearing and rearranging. And it's this impulse in me that I actually haven't really acted on yet. And part of it has been, I just want to I have this urge to just, you know, clear out my YouTube channel that I spent, you know, almost 5 years, you know, making hundreds of videos for. I just feel like wiping that slate clean. And I just feel like just because I could transition the business while keeping it, morph it while keeping it going. But I also just feel this urge inside to just let it die and then like a phoenix rebirth and remold it. But I haven't executed those urges yet. I haven't decided yet, because I just want to be sure. And as I mentioned, even a name was emerging for me, an idea for a new name to claim. And that's also, I feel like, a big deal. So I've just been holding back a bit on that. But I've been feeling constantly on the verge of just pulling the trigger. And so I guess I would support in just gaining clarity on those decisions. Yeah. Thank you for listening.
Awesome. Thanks, Ellie. So for the people that came in later, just to let you know that we're not doing the mastermind like we normally do, where we all kind of chime in, because the group is so much bigger. So we're going to find probably some sort of platform of starting some sort of a chat. So this, like, for example, this video, I'm going to put it up on YouTube as unlisted. So only those of us that are in the group that have the link can be there. And we could actually do a chat under the YouTube video. I can't read that. Hold on. And then there's Slack. Carrie loves Slack. There is a chat inside the higher ground thing too, like the regular portal. I just don't know how many different places I want to do this in and make you go and learn. So the other option is just putting a link to it in Facebook and letting you guys give each other feedback that way. So yeah, I'm open to ideas, and you're a genius. Because so for today, we're definitely not going to do people giving everybody feedback just because it would take too much time. But yeah, I'm so glad you're here, Ellie, with this rebirthing that you're going through. And it's so hard to let go of old stuff. I don't know, I've been looking at some of my stuff on my YouTube channel, and I don't think I would get rid of the whole YouTube channel, but there's definitely stuff on there that just isn't relevant anymore. And just, to let stuff go. Sometimes to have a clean slate is just so liberating, to allow yourself to just, whoosh, here I am. It's like a rebirth and start new. And I'm sure, there's a lot of amazing women here that will give each other feedback. So I look forward to hearing what everybody wants to share on how to gain more clarity. So Tara, I think you are our final lady.
Hi. Oh, this is so exciting. Oh my gosh, I love all
Yay!
this so much. Oh my goodness. I'm like, this is amazing.
It is amazing to have you here. Thank you.
I know, it's been a hot minute, but I've missed you.
Oh,
There's just a special thing that you bring in my life. I'm like, I need that again.
Thank you.
So I'm Tara. I'm in Calgary, Alberta, which is in Canada. It's like just above Montana. My business is cosmic soul medicine, and I'm an astrologer, very unconventional astrologer, and star body healer. So basically the star body is just what everybody else calls the natal chart. I call it a star body because it's so much more for me than a little piece of paper of where everything is when you were born and so on. So my dream clients are other healers, coaches, light workers, just really amazing beings, but basically a human who's aware of their multidimensionality, but are just tired of living what to them is a one-dimensional life. And they want to make all these amazing aspects of them more conscious, and then embody them and express them. So they desire a very intimate, very expansive, very inspiring, and grounded relationship with their star body. They desire cosmic sovereignty so that all of this stuff can happen up here in the cosmos, but it's not like knocking you on your ass every 2 weeks. They want to express their multidimensionality in full power, full tilt, no compromising, no bending, no people pleasing for anyone. Not one bit here and one bit there, just so they can do their earth mission, do whatever it is they're here to do, however the hell they want to do it, and are open to experiencing just a very different perspective and approach to astrology to help cultivate that. And it's funny, and I love it for so many reasons, but most of my clients have never been super into astrology. They're not reading everything and anything all the time, or they love the idea of it, but it's never really resonated with them much, or they're so into it and they're starting to fall out of it. They're starting to not resonate. Like they're tired of reading 10 pages of stuff all the time. And then we connect with one another some way, somehow, and then just the most magical things happen. So my intention for being part of Higher Ground is to infuse and allow a lot more pleasure, just flow and ease into the parts of my business that aren't as pleasurable and flowy as the rest of them, which for me is mainly marketing and client attraction, because like I've definitely got the polarizing and repelling part down, like so good. It's time to find, my people. And what I'm celebrating this week are just some really great sessions I've had with clients this week, and settling even more into just a new nature for me of flow, where despite all there is to do and all there is to work on and whatever, things overall just feel really good. Like there's levels where like, yeah, I feel like a pile of steaming poo, but overall things just feel really good. Feedback and support for me right now, which has been present for a hot minute and is part of my intention for being here, is just exploring what to write about. Like I don't talk or write about all the, the transits and the astro things going on my social media for a reason. I focus very much on the inner a lot more, because when you have that relationship with your star body, your experience of all that other stuff shifts incredibly. But when the inspiration comes through, it's amazing and it's powerful and people love it and want more. It's just the consistency that I need to cultivate and that I want to feel good and be fun and pleasurable and flowy. So yeah.
All right, thank you so much. And yeah, I think really finding a way to describe what the star body is so people can really grasp that concept, because I know for me I've known you for a long time, but I also know that I still kind of like, yeah, I understand like conceptually what it is, but I don't understand like why, what's that juiciness in there for me in relation to that. So I think that finding that connection for you will help you figure out what to write about and how to like get people to jump on board with that idea, because it's a fabulous approach that's very unique. It's really unique. And there's I know Carrie's really into astrology. There's a lot of, I think, good people here that will chime in and give you feedback on that around, how you're presenting that. So people will be like, okay, yeah, that's a revolution I want to be a part of, which is week 4, your passion revolution. So yeah, I'm excited. I just wrote that. Yeah, I was up way too late. I was like, oh, I'm going to make all these boundaries around how much work I do. And I was writing until about like 10, the lesson number 4 for you guys. And then Netflix got turned on and that was it. I went to bed at 2 a.m., which was really dumb. But yeah, we do it sometimes. I think Helen was here for a moment and she might have had to run away. Let me see if she's... Yeah, I don't see Helen here anymore. She was here for a minute. Okay. I was going to see if she wanted to go, but she isn't here. Just a little heads up. So if you haven't gotten to week 2 yet, it is up on the portal. I haven't done the video yet for it, but I'm going to do a video, sometime before Monday. And you'll just get an email with the link to that lesson for week 2 on Monday morning. And let's see. You're going to be working on your ideal client stuff. So I think that'll be great. And your I am statements and continuing this work with the sovereign. So any feedback on this week's lesson, anything you want me to know about or any questions? Well, as they come up, you can either post about it in Facebook or email me, okay? So I'm so glad we got to get together. So we don't meet every Wednesday for Masterminds. It's every other Wednesday. And so I don't know the date for the next one, but it's like the 30th, maybe something like that. So it's the end of this month. And yeah, in between that, we're going to have a lot of stuff happening. So I will definitely be sure to keep us engaged in the group and figuring, giving each other feedback. Know that you could post anytime you need feedback on your business, you have a question about the material. But yeah, if you just want to also be witnessed in something that you've done, a project that you've completed that you're celebrating, we do have we're going to have the weekly Friday celebration post, but that doesn't mean you have to wait till Friday, right? We're going to do a Q&A Wednesday where you guys can ask questions. And I think we can even make that a little bit, again, like a masterminding. It could be not just questions about the materials, but questions that you have who can help me find a good person to do my logo? Who can help me find, a good social media person? And we do have a social media person in the group this year, which is great because that will really help all of us because we all had a lot of social media questions and I was at a loss, didn't really know how to answer them. So we do have someone, her name is Tawny, she's in the group. So, yeah, like Sophia said, holding vision for her. Yeah, there's a lot we can do for each other. So if you need to be witnessed, if you need special support on something, go ahead and post. There's no special day when you have to do it. I was going to say something else. I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, it's just a matter of finding, a way that we can use the masterminding time to give each other feedback. And, there's so many different ways we can do it. So it might take some experimentation before we really fall on the right medium for that and the right platform, which is fine. That's how we do things around here. There was a conversation I think I had with somebody over email. I'm just going to bring it up because it's important, because all of us have been in our businesses now or some aspect of building our business for the past, 5 to 6 years, some of us 7 years, some of us 8 years. But in general, we're under that 10-year mark. And I just wanted to say that a lot of entrepreneurs don't talk about this, especially the Marie Forleos, the Danielle Laportes, all of those people who are making, Leonie Dawson, 6 figures and over. A lot of those people started their businesses 10 years ago or longer, probably longer. And, when I've done my research and I've talked to other coaches that I had that were high end and super, rolling in the dough. And I'm like, damn, I want that, girl. Give me that. How do I get that? And I've had really great mentors. And the thing they always tell me is yeah, it takes about 10 years to start getting that. And I'm like, really? They're like, yeah. Oh yeah. We had corporate jobs. We had, ghostwriting jobs. All of those women, they had other streams of income to support them in their businesses. So if you're expecting or feeling disappointed that I'm not making as much money as so-and-so, or I'm not making as much money as I think I should be making right now, or that I'm worth right now, do not feel any shame around that. Do not feel like there's something wrong with you, because there's not. I'm still ghostwriting and doing copywriting for other people. I do tarot readings. It's I have this class. I sell books. I do workshops and retreats. I mean, I have multiple streams of income so I can keep going, I don't have a corporate job because I've been out of the corporate for so long. And yeah, it's all good to have a flow of income, and there's no shame in that. And no shame in being where you are right now in your business. If you feel like I'm not making money doing this particular lifetime of work, and I have somebody who's on it. I'm just going to mute the 310 number. Sorry. Just because it was a little noisy, but we love you anyways. 310. I don't really know who you are, but Is that a Beverly Hills phone number? I think it's West LA, maybe. I don't know who it is, but we're going to jump off.
Chris.
Who is it?
Hey, Chris, I just jumped. It's Kay.
Hey, darling.
It's Kay. Hey. Hi.
Hey.
Sorry to interrupt you guys. I just was able to jump on right at the end. I'm in a cafe, so I'm not going to talk much. But, I mean, actually, I think it'll be okay if I talk. They don't really care, but I might not talk that much. So anyway, hi.
Hi. So we're getting ready to jump off soon, but I was just kind of giving a little bit of a pep talk because of a conversation I had with somebody last week about, it's easy to feel discouraged when you're not. I'm just going to mute you again, Kay, because it's really noisy over there. It can be really discouraging when you think, why am I not further along? And really everything is cycles and everything is a process. And just know that you're in the right place. There's, nobody here is going to be like, wow, you're not making X amount of dollars. And, for me, we could all, at some point, it'd be great to have a money conversation and what your experiences have been in your entrepreneurial life around money. But I know like my first year like 2012, between 2012 and 2014, I was making way more money than I am now doing my, entrepreneurial, doing this work. And it was like, I kind of felt like I had beginner's luck and then everything went away. But what happened was kind of like what Ellie is experiencing. I really wasn't in alignment with where I was supposed to be and needed to strip away a lot of those layers and strip away those those old beliefs about myself and old feelings. And, so I got it, between like 2015 and 2017, I got a divorce. And then my mom had cancer. I helped take care of her and then she passed on. I mean, it was just like a couple of years of hell. And so, so it was kind of like my life kind of went up in flames, so to speak. And now not really now. I don't feel like now I'm rebuilding. I feel like now it's like, okay, now it's just the really planning and building this amazing foundation so I can just fly and do this work that just delights me and gives me pleasure and be in that pleasure. Not to say that I'm not ever going to have difficulties because, there's always challenges and growth, but we all experience different cycles in our lives and those always affect our business. I don't feel like there's separation really. It's really all one flowing into the other and one feeds the other. It's like a dynamic alchemical process. So I'm just going to end with that, knowing that you guys are you are my ideal clients. Many of you, I invited you here because I'm just like, damn, I want that girl in here. I want that woman. I am so pleased that you're here and that we have 6 months to really dig in. And just let me know again if you have questions or if anything is unclear, if you need help with anything, okay? I'm here for you. And I'll be in touch soon. Have an amazing afternoon, you guys. Evening for some of you. Bye.